Today, we're going to focus on an important aspect of academic writing, using the third person. In academic writing, clarity, objectivity, and professionalism are key. One of the best ways to maintain these qualities is by writing in the third person. But what does this actually mean? Let's break it down. When we write in the third person, we are referring to others, not ourselves. This means using terms like he, she, they, it, or even one. For example, 1. The study found that 2. Researchers have suggested 3. It is clear that. Notice that in these examples, the writer does not refer to themselves directly. Instead, they focus on the subject, whether that be the research, the topic, or others involved in the study. Let's compare first-person and third-person examples to really see the difference. First person. I believe that the results of this study demonstrate a significant trend. In the first sentence, the writer is inserting themselves into the discussion using I. In the second sentence, the writer focuses solely on the findings, leaving out personal pronouns. Now you might wonder, why do we avoid the first-person perspective in academic writing? Well, using the third person helps us accomplish a few things. Objectivity. When we write in the third person, we distance ourselves from the subject. This makes the writing appear more objective, as it emphasizes the research rather than the writer's personal views. Professionalism. Writing in the third person lends a formal tone to the work. Writing in third person is more fitting for academic environments, where the focus should be on data, analysis, and argumentation, rather than personal experience. Clarity. Third-person writing tends to be clearer and more straightforward. It avoids unnecessary distractions or emotional overtones that can sometimes come with the first-person perspective. Now, let's talk about specific words and phrases to avoid in academic writing. Here's a list of common pitfalls. Phrases to avoid. The word I, the word we, the word are, the word lets you, second person, the word at us, the word me, the word my, the word mine, the word your. For example, 1. Avoid using let's examine the data. Instead, write, this paper examines the data. 2. Instead of in our study, we found that. Write, the study found that. 3. Instead of I believe the evidence supports. Write, the evidence supports. Note about second person. Another important thing to remember is that second person pronouns, like you, should never be used in academic writing. Second person makes the writing too conversational and places the focus on the reader instead of the subject matter. For example, Chapter 1. Avoid, you can see the results in Table 1, and instead say, the results are shown in Table 1. Second person writing is more commonly used in informal writing or instructional guides, but it is not appropriate in academic or formal writing because it disrupts the objectivity and tone we strive for. Let's look at some examples of what we want to avoid when writing academically. 1. I think the evidence supports my claim that. 2. In my opinion, the results prove. These sentences introduce unnecessary subjectivity. Instead, you would write something like 1. The evidence supports the claim that. 2. The results indicate. Do you see the difference? By eliminating the personal pronouns, we create a more neutral, professional tone. This doesn't mean we lose voice or argumentation. It just means we focus on the content rather than ourselves. Now, when you incorporate sources, it's also important to keep it in third person. This allows you to integrate research into your writing while maintaining the academic tone and avoiding personal pronouns. Finally, remember that writing in the third person doesn't mean your writing becomes robotic. You can still demonstrate critical thinking, analysis, and perspective. You just do so from an objective standpoint. Writing in the third person may take some time to get used to, but it's a fundamental part of academic writing. It helps to present your arguments, research, and analyses in a clear, professional, and unbiased manner. So, as you move forward with your assignments and research papers, remember, focus on the content, not the writer. Let the data speak for itself.